Hi there, Zam here for NerdTube. These are my thoughts and spoilers of The Bondsman, starring the immortal Kevin Bacon, who, for 66 years old, this guy looks really young, like still in his 50s. Regardless, he plays Hub Halloran, a bondsman, the bondsman. And on his latest job, which is the pilot episode of this show, we see him trying to track down this one particular dude. But unfortunately for him, he doesn't realize that the dude that he's tracking down are actually setting a trap for him, and they end up killing him, slitting his throat and all, and then leaving him in the walls of the hotel to die and rot, or just to rot really. He's already dead. But he comes back to life. You see a representative of the devil, who is played by the lovely Jolene Purdy, who's a really sweet and loving character, and she's not necessarily pretending to be. She really is. She has her own little story that we see in one of these episodes. She represents the devil, and she tells Hub Halloran that you're now, as a bondsman, you're no longer going to be hunting criminals, you're going to be hunting demons. You see, some demons, they tend to escape hell, and it's up for Hub to stop these demons and send them back to hell. And a lot of these demons happen to be in Georgia, which made me head scratch a little bit, but there was an explanation to why all these demons happen to be in Georgia. And these demons also happen to represent different elements, like there's a fire demon, an earth demon, a wind demon, a water demon, and all of that. I was expecting them to have their powers combined and Captain Planet was going to appear, but that wasn't necessarily the case. Regardless, Hub has to stop these demons, and this is where I felt I was a little bit disappointed, because I was expecting some really quirky, cool moments where Hub is using really unusual initiatives, to get one over on these demons, because these demons themselves are really dangerous, and they have abilities and all of that. But no, most of the time he's just shooting them in the head and killing them that way. There is a cool picture of him chainsawing one in the head as well, and this is where I like to quickly mention regarding that chainsaw that this show definitely resembles Ash vs. the Evil Dead, but in my opinion, Ash vs. the Evil Dead is a far superior show. This show is just okay, with those action scenes being adequate, and it does carry itself really well with a very good cast of actors who support Kevin Bacon, and Kevin Bacon himself is just a great actor as well. The subplots are okay, with Kevin trying to get back with his wife, whilst an ex-gangster who's trying to reform himself is making moves on his wife. He also has a son played by Maxwell Jenkins, who we remember as young Will Robinson in the reboot of Lost in Space. He's a lot larger now, a lot bigger now in this particular show. His mum as well, who's also a bounty hunter and a churchgoer, who knows what's happened to her son, that he's actually been resurrected and is now working for the devil, wants to help her son as well. And she's pretty cool character too. There's some quaint townsy folks as well. The sheriff seems pretty cool, and all of these other characters too. But it doesn't necessarily meld well overall when it comes to what I'm trying to watch. This is trying to be comical, like Ash vs. Evil Dead, and it does have its serious moments as well, because it is dealing with life and death and all of that, and there are tragic moments during the course of this show. And some things do get explained, but it doesn't necessarily leave you satisfied regardless of this explanation. Everything just seems a bit bizarre at times, and not, if like these explanations feel like square pegs and round holes, if you can understand that particular explanation of how I felt the explanations were given to me during the course of this show. Nevertheless, some things did work, even though some things didn't. I did enjoy it enough to finish the entire season, but it definitely needs more in the second season. And regarding the second season, boy, did this first season end on a massive fucking cliffhanger. So second season, let's hope it happens, because I want to see how this is resolved. So what am I going to mark it? 7 out of 10, I think, is a good enough mark. It's reasonable, it's good. If you like Kevin Bacon, you like Ash vs. Evil Dead and all these demonic stuff, comedy, horror, and all of that sort of stuff, yeah, you're going to get a good chuckle out of this. At the same time, you think, this can be better, and let's hope it is better in season 2. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the great social media channel you never heard of. Take care, and let me know what you think of The Bondsman Season 1.